The Season 10 Midseason patch is here. Let's take a look at the notes together. I've already taken a look at them. We've talked plenty about it in the past couple weeks about some of the things we knew about, but there's a couple new things, so good to go through. So we'll go ahead and we'll start here. Overwatch 2 times Porsche. These Porsche skins are going to be here for 3 weeks. So if that's your thing, great. I'm going to have a discussion later about the Porsche stuff, but I'm not a big fan of these skins, but whatever. Competitive play updates. The demotion protection modifier has been moved from below the rank progress bar into the bar itself to improve visibly when a player is in a demotion protection state. I don't know what that looks like. When demotion protection occurs, you will not be told when your progress is below that skill division's range. If you lose your demotion match, the skill range adjustment will show only the adjustment for that match. Oh, okay. Instead of the net total of the matches. So, nothing is actually changing behind the scenes. It's just showing it to us. Okay, new pressure competitive modifier. This rank modifier appears for players who are at the far ends of the overall skill distribution. So champion and bronze, basically. Players who are very high skill, this modifier will show when you don't earn as much progress from winning a match or drop more progress for losing a match. Basically, I think it's like a volatile kind of thing where it's like, hey, you're so high up that we can't give you that much, and that's the reason why you aren't gaining much. I think it's still like this is just showing you what was going on. It has been like this in the past. Grouping restrictions. Grandmaster can now group within 3 divisions to be considered a narrow group. Champion can now group within 1 division to be considered a narrow group. Okay. When a player is this is a big one. Currently on a loss streak, the matchmaker will try to avoid putting the player on a team that is statistically calculated to have a lower chance of winning. Loser's queue is not real anymore, guys. It's literally not real. I don't know. This is kind of silly. I don't think this is really going to change too much. I don't think it's going to be a super big deal. But yeah, it's funny. If you are losing so much, if you're that bad, the game's like, okay. Sorry. Which basically means it's going to more likely put you on a game where you're favored to win. Which, maybe the matchmaker shouldn't be able to step in and do stuff like that, but we'll see. We'll see if this actually becomes a real problem. I doubt it. Okay. Armor has been reverted to provide a flat damage reduction of 5 per projectile up to a maximum of 50% damage reduction. We've talked about this ad nauseum, but basically, armor will now just reduce 5 damage just straight up off of anything, and if that total damage afterwards is less than 5, it will just go to half. So basically what this means is that the tank buster kind of abilities, like a tracer pellet or something, those are going to do half damage, and then everything above that mark, that 5 or 10 actually, will be doing -5. So a Widow headshot's only doing -5 damage, but a Tracer headshot or a Tracer bullet would be doing -50%, which is a much bigger difference. Like the Widow one, that's like a couple percent off of the damage. Well, Tracer, that's half of her damage gone against armor. That stuff, I'm not going to go up into it. I like this change personally. I always like how armor worked, and I always wish they would bring it back, and they did. So that's really nice to see. Out of health combat regeneration changed from 20 health per second to 10 health per second plus 5% of maximum health. This just helps tanks regen health outside of combat again. 20 health per second did not help tanks nearly as much. Now it's just 5% of their maximum health. They're going to be getting a lot more proportionally. Good change. Probably should have been implemented like that, but, Okay, and I'm just going to breeze through. Tanks now have 20% damage reduction against critical headshot damage. This is going to help a lot of the tanks that don't have direct ways to mitigate damage. Think about Queen, Malga, Roadhog, even like Zarya, Doomfist, those ones. And then the knockback resistance was increased from 30% to 50%. So this is going to be most significant against characters that have kind of more obvious tells about when they're doing things. Or it's really bad if they get booped away from what they're, maybe it's hard to get in, and getting booped is bad for them. So again, think like Queen, Winston, the dive tanks specifically, They're all helped by the knockback resistance. I've talked about these changes. I don't like how these were implemented. I think tanks needed help. I don't like how they've done this. We'll just have to see. We'll have to play with it. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt for now, but just know that on paper, not a fan. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so Queen, we knew about these. Commanding Shout can now be activated while using other abilities. Basically, while you're channeling Carnage or Rampage, you can shout. It's a nice quality of life buff. I think it's pretty good, especially with Rampage. It always felt wrong that you couldn't shout while you were rampaging. Or not Rampage, sorry, Carnage. The big thing here is that the cooldown was reduced from 14 to 12. And with Queen already, like the headshot damage being really good for Queen, and the knockback also being really good for Queen, this is really big. Like, I think Queen is about to be a monster this patch. So watch out for Queen because she benefits from these changes significantly. Okay. Sigma. I don't know what they're smoking over there at Blizzard, but Gravitic Flux no longer requires LOS to the center of the effect. So basically, Sig can now abduct people behind walls. A lot of things in this game would block Flux, or you maybe do the Flux wrong or whatever. Now, it doesn't matter. Even if there's a wall between them, even if you can't even see the Flux ring at all, still going to be picked up by it if you're in the radius. I really hate this change. I don't understand why you just make this ult easier. I feel like this ult provides a lot of value, but it is hard to hit sometimes because of that LOS blocker. Now it's like free, and if somebody tries to escape around a corner, you just get free kills. Basically, you don't have to chase. You can just go like, oh, they went into a room and they're half health. I'm gonna get them. Boom. Like there's nothing they can do about it. I really don't know why. Like Sigma is already really good. He's a really good all-rounder. I feel like they've been doing a good job with his balance. This one is a big sore thumb. It sticks out. So, I don't know. I don't know why they would do this. Maybe this will get reverted, but I'm not a fan of this one. Wrecking Ball! I don't know why we keep buffing this character. They said they reworked him, or they wanted to, and then they kind of stopped using that language, the rework. And now we're here, where he just has a couple more options and does the exact same thing. And now his numbers are just getting buffed. So, Grappling Claw, impact damage increase from 50 to 60. This is not that big, but it's still a pretty, sizable increase to his DPS. Pile Driver movement lockout duration for enemies increased from 0.5 to 0.75. You are going to be stuck in the air for a while. It is going to feel like you just cannot move when you get Pile Drivered. God, I don't know. This is going to be annoying to deal with because people are going to be much more susceptible to Pile Driver. And then this stupid ult that they just keep buffing. Damage of Minefield increased from 130 to 165. Okay, so it's still 2 shots and whatever. The big thing here is that the explosion knockback was doubled. So you know how sometimes you would hit a mine, then ping pong into the other one, then you're dead? Well, that's going to happen way more often because you're going to go further back. Double the distance that you would have gone. So if you touch Minefield, you may just fly into another direction and hit another mine that does even more damage. I think Minefield is one of the worst ults design-wise in the game. It's place it, forget about it. Ball can die and come back and his mines will still be there. I feel like that's terrible design. Like, why is that even possible? Minefield should go away when he dies. I would say that. And that's not even Ball never even dies, so that's not even anything. But there's a lot of things I would change about Minefield. But I'm not a fan of these changes either, or at least the Minefield changes. But yeah, they really don't know what to do with Wrecking Ball. It's kind of sad. Zarya. Graviton Surge, radius increase from 6 to 7, so you're going to be getting scooped by this thing. And the duration increased by 0.5 seconds. So, probably for the best. I mean, I don't think Grab is going to be, that much better, but the radius increase is pretty dramatic. We'll have to watch out. I don't think the duration is that much of a big deal. But the radius one, I think, is probably going to be the kicker. All right, so there's a couple Couple buffs they had talked about. Junkrat is one of them. They talked about buffing Junkrat. Basically, the impact damage from the frag launcher has been increased by 5 damage. Um, Basically now, if you have a 250 health hero, he can two-shot them again if he hits the frag. Um, that does not mean the easier concussion mine frag launcher damage. That's the same. That combo, it will not kill at full health. But if you are able to hit 2 of the frag grenades, it will kill. So that could be that could be really bad if like a really good Junkrat, or it may not really matter because most of his value is going to come from concussion mine. So we'll have to see. I think this is fine. I think it's fine. It's just a little more damage. It should be okay at the end of the day. So whatever. Echo, we were concerned about why Echo was getting buffed, but it basically just looks like you get more ultimate increased charge rate while you're duped because I don't know. They're saying, well, let's see what the comment is. Well, the main benefit of duplicate is the second health pool and the utility of another hero's ability is often too difficult to charge an ultimate. Yeah, I kind of did feel like that. They nerfed it a while ago. So whatever. I mean, Echo is already really good, so I don't think this is gonna make her that much better, but it may just feel a little better to use dupe. So sure, whatever. Hanzo, the Dragon Strike speed was increased from 12 to 15 meters per second. Is this not a nerf? For real, is this not a nerf? Because Dragon Strike, if it goes faster, they're less likely to be, like, they're in it for less time. It's going to do less damage overall. So, like, obviously, if you stand in it, you're going to die. But, like, imagine if somebody, like, accidentally fell into it or, like, right at the beginning got hit by it. Or I guess it would be more at the end. Like, at the end, they got hit by it, but it was moving faster, so they, like, took less damage because it didn't hit as many ticks on them. Yeah, I guess I can see, like, at the beginning of the ult, it may be more useful to get it to catch people off guard, but I don't really see this as, like, a hard buff. Like, this is kind of, like, whatever. So, it's not going to help Hanzo. I mean, ultimate buffs typically don't really help heroes that much if they're really struggling in, the mid fight, So we'll have to see. And then one last big change here. This was actually taken from the April Fool's Day patch. When you pop rally, you now get shield bash back up on a cooldown. It did feel kind of awkward to like bash and then rally, and then you had to wait like 7 seconds to use like the stun. So now basically Brig can guarantee 2 stuns and rally. It might be a little much, but I think with this tank patch and also Brig kind of being like not that great, and I think it's fine. We'll have to see. It might end up being really annoying, and then we may be calling like, hey, maybe this was a bad idea because now she can do like 50. She could bash, pop rally, bash. And then I don't think she can one-shot anything still if she were to do like a combo like that, but always a concern when you buff a hard CC like that. But I think this is going to be fine. I'm not too concerned about this right now. General bug fixes, Mirror Watch, fix a bug with competitive progress, not incrementing. Let me see. General bug fixes improved on multiple maps. Cold, stuck. It doesn't look like there's too much here. Venture, always good. Let's see. Fix the bug with tectonic shock that countered turrets and other non-player target is valid for the excavation annihilation achievement. Oh. Well, okay. Fix an issue that could occur with burrow where Venture would remain burrowed above the ground. Okay, anyways, that's it. This patch, the big tank ones. I don't want to say this patch is underwhelming because there are really big basically system changes that have occurred. So we have to watch out for those. I'm not going to go ahead. Like I played like 3 games of quick play, so I have no say about what feels good or not. So we'll have to wait and see. Watch out for Queen in your games. I think she is really good, or she will probably be very good after these changes. But Yeah, please let me know what you guys think. As always, I do these live on Twitch. I do a discussion every single time I go live. That's twitch.tv/Lane Hemingway. If you like this video and you want to see more, that's going to be my YouTube channel. Go ahead and do all that good YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe. It really does help me out at the end of the day. Thank you guys for watching and have a good day.